Isn't the point of traveling to get away from it all? To feel the best you've ever felt? Then maybe you should check out Aruba. You'll spend your time relaxing on cool, white, sandy beaches and floating in healing blue water. You'll meet locals brimming with gratitude for an island that redefines what a paradise can be. When your trip comes to an end, you won't need another vacation because you just had the vacation. That's the Aruba effect. Plan your trip at Aruba.com.
You're listening to Satellite Sisters.
What's a satellite sister?
The person you call when the best thing in your life happens or the worst.
The person that gets you up, gets you going, and gets you through.
And every once in a while, changes your mind.
This podcast is part pep talk, part weekly check-in.
Like grabbing coffee with a friend.
Thanks for being here. Welcome to the Satellite Sisterhood. Hey, it's Liz. I'm just laughing because I'm looking at Lian on the Zoom and she just like laughing at me because I'm opening the show. But that's what we do here in 2024. We mix it up. Every couple of weeks, you're going to get something new from us. It's all going to be different. So it's different. I'm Liz Dolan. I'm in Santa Monica. I'm the middle sister. I'm happy to be here this morning with my sister, Lian Dolan. How are you doing, Lian?
Liz, it's my first time behind the mic in 2024. And I'm happy to be emerging from some personal fog and some COVID and some home repairs. But here I am, Liz, and you've been doing a bang up job behind the scenes, pulling this all together. This whole remix thing is mixing it up because of you, Liz Dolan.
Yes,
so thank you.
Yes. Well, I tried to explain to some ladies I was with last night how I have mastered AI. And then explained to me how we are now creating the show. They had no idea what I was talking about. So I should just not crow so much about the fact that you had mentioned we have a new platform that we're working with.
Yes.
And people got concerned about that. Nothing to be concerned about, people. It's
no.
just
or excited about. It's just we have to re-edit these shows, which is fun, but you can go in and listen to 6 hours of tape, or you can spend 6 minutes reading the AI transcript. And that is what Liz Dolan figured out.
That was the breakthrough. Anyway, so what have you been up to? Yeah, it was just Julie and I doing the intro a couple weeks ago. Now we've got you back. Julie's out today. So what's going on for you?
Liz, I feel like my whole month of January, I can't believe it's the 26th because I had a busy holiday season, a lot of house guests, which I enjoy.
Yeah.
Entertaining. My sister Sheila was here. We threw an open house for her. Right after Sheila, my niece and her boyfriend came in. Actually coincided. I had a full house and then I got COVID, for goodness sakes. Which
one of those darn house guests gave you COVID? Have you pinned it on anyone?
The good news is I did not give it to any of my house guests.
Good.
I isolated very quickly, thinking it was just a bad cold, and then and then when I tested, I was so shocked, and so I was kind of out of it for like 8 days, I would say. And then I had to go right back to finishing this manuscript, which I thought I was going to finish over the holidays. That was bad planning, Liz. I was not going to finish anything.
Well, it was ambitious. You're ambitious, Lian. So this is your 2025 book, right?
Yes. This is a book called The Wedding. So my 2024 book called The Marriage Sabbatical is done. There's no, that's being printed.
There's no going back on that now.
No, comes out in 2 months. All great. So this is a book that I absolutely need to get in. So it's really been head down for me doing that. But in the meantime, we had to go out and get a new range because my 25-year-old workhorse of a Thermador gave up the ghost. It started to turn on me, Liz. I think honestly, like two years ago, the ignition went, and you remember I had to take the turkey out one Thanksgiving because there was no ovens, and they're like, it's really not worth repairing it. It was sort of hanging on. Even this Christmas, I did a beef tenderloins because I could cook at a low temperature, and I thought I don't think I can make a whole like big turkey. And then it started to get really hot, like the insulation had died. And so I did get wildly burned at Thanksgiving, like a part of the stove heated up. I thought it was going to burn the house down. So the long story short is
time to make a change. I think when you get to that point, get yourself a new range.
Yeah. When I think about death by Thermador, that's not good, Liz. That's... It would be appropriate, but not great. So So we decided to go to the induction stoves, which I can't really explain how they work. They're electric.
Because I was going to ask you, what is that? I don't understand. Of course, it's all anyone talks about anymore. I have no idea what that is.
It's electricity. You're cooking by electromagnetic electricity, Liz. So it's like, and it only heats up the pans, and it's safer. It's very precise way. It's not like the old electric stove that takes 8 hours to heat up and 20 hours to cool down, and you have no control. It's the complete opposite of that.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're moving all electric. We're getting solar. I mean, my husband's operating on a 10-year plan that I can't even.
You two are just going to go off the grid? Is that the deal?
I guess, Liz.
Okay, well.
So the good news is we went to get this stove. It had to be a 48-inch induction stove, right? And
because it had to fit in the slot.
Yeah, that's it. Or else we have to gut the whole kitchen, which we don't want to do. So, and the one I picked, they're like, okay, well, there's one in the warehouse. We can bring it next week. I was like, wait, what? I thought it was going to be months. So, and thank goodness, because Saturday, Liz, I was cooking a nice pot roast like I like to do on the weekends. And halfway through, my thermidor just died, just completely died.
Oh, okay.
Stop working. I had to take the pot roast out. And this is just a little bit of Satellite Sisters trivia. I was like, how am I going to finish this pot roast? Because that was dinner, Liz. So I had an electric skillet that I had bought in like 2003 for the Satellite Sisters segments where I used to cook in the radio studio.
Oh my God, I remember those. Yes, you had the skillet. Sheila had the blender. We used to.
Anywho, got the pot roast finished. They put the range in, Liz. It's a beautiful AGA range. It's gorgeous. It's a beautiful blue color. It's very complicated. I'm learning one new thing every day. Okay. I have ovens. I have broilers. I'm excited to learn on a new machine, Liz. Yeah, so let's just put it that way. And in the meantime, and now I have to go finish that darn book. So that's going to be done by.
So it's the COVID, the range, and the new book.
And the new book.
In the month of January.
Then in February, new me, new month, new Lian. So there you go. There you go.
Okay. Wow. Well, people, longtime listeners know you are a very serious home cook. So your range, your fond farewell to your thermidor that you posted on social media, I thought was very touching. How that piece of equipment had really supported the whole family, including me. So many holidays, so many things. You've always been the one, Lian. You've always been the home we came to for anyway. So yeah, it was touching, very touching.
Thank you. A lot of good meals. It had the same sense of like, I don't want to say finality, just the end of an era, like when we sold our minivan. That 20-year-old white minivan had a lot of memories in it. And this 25-year-old thermidor range, the same thing. Yeah. A lot of meals, a lot of paninis, a lot of pot roasts, a lot of turkeys, a lot of pots of pasta. So just a lot of memories in that.
Okay. I think you promised you're going to give me a tour of the new range on Instagram Live.
I will. I want to show off the broiler pan, Liz. I think you're.
We are breaking new ground here at Satellite Sisters. See, we're not going away. We are breaking new ground.
That's right. Should we talk about what's on this show?
So here's what's on this show. This is a super fun show. So we have just a lot of fantastic material. The A block, as we call it, Lian. It's all you. It's you've just come back from a Christmas vacation that involved another trip to Legoland.
Yeah. Liz, here's the thing about listening to this episode, like trying to get a puppy, 2 kids, a workaholic husband to take 2 days of vacation off. I started to sweat and my heart rate went up when I listened to it. Just remembering what those days were, like peak working mom days for me. It's hard to express to people when we were working 6 days a week on the radio.
Yes.
So that. Starting
at 6 a.m. on the Saturday show. Yeah. So means going to work at 4 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah. So we didn't even get a lot of weekends off or holidays. Yeah. Like we had a very intense schedule for 6, and the intensity of my vacation comes through. That's what I would say. I was like, Oh, whoa, those were hard days. Very hard.
But you're nailing it. You're getting that vacation if it kills you. That's what I hear. I hear like, if it kills me, I am going to Legoland right now. Okay. Then in a B segment, Patricia Schultz was one of our favorite guests. She wrote the book, 1,000 Places to See Before You Die. That was a good one. That's you, Monica, and Julie talking about where to travel to.
I can't even believe that the three of us ever did a show together. Like, listen. I was like, wait, that was a combination? I don't remember that day.
Yeah.
You know, Julie's such a great world traveler, and so is Monica, a lot of curiosity. And these are 1,000 places, so they haven't changed much. These places are still great places to go. They're not trendy places. But Julie, I mean, she says to go to 3 places that Julie went to in the next 20 years, right?
Yeah.
She went to the pyramids. Where'd she
went to the pyramids of Giza. She went to Macchu Picchu twice, I believe. She's been to Machu Picchu. Yeah. Then she went to Petra, Jordan. Remember when she went to Jordan?
Right. So she took this woman and she did it, Julie Dolan. So hats off to her.
It's interesting having the historical perspective.
Yeah.
But yeah, she told people to go there, and so Julie did. That's the way it worked. But another thing that's interesting about this segment, again, back in the day, radio days, we took calls, right? So we asked people to call in, and in all these new episodes we're doing for you in 24, we're going to feature some of those segments because you will hear yourselves. Some longtime listeners. Okay, like on this one, Christina from Minnesota, boom, you're in this one. Joanne from Ohio, Eileen, Michelle, they all call in with either questions about where they should travel to or suggestions about their favorite places. So it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's fun. Again, we took callers. Yes, we did.
You could do that on live radio. And then I think we also throw in a cozy couch there. Can you explain to the people who might be newer listeners what the cozy couch represents in the Satellite Sister?
Yeah, this represented sort of the highest and best use of our sister Sheila's natural instincts and interests. And that was sitting on the couch, eating snacks, reading magazines. And for a lot of shows, that wouldn't be enough for a segment. But for Sheila, she really made the most of that. And
totally does.
It was such a relief. At the end of the week, we usually did these on Friday. It was just to have a nice cozy couch, and we'd get a lot of information like smart new uses for pantyhose or what 1,001 ways to use up the rubber bands that come off the fruit. You know, I mean,
yeah, this was all mainly from supermarket tabloid kind of publications. So like Women's World, things like that. Yeah.
Yes. And I know she coined the phrase, if it's good enough for us, it's good enough for us. Us magazine. Before us got all weird. But when Us was just truly a stupider version of People magazine. If it's good enough for us, it's good enough for us.
Okay. Then in the C block, this is super timely because here we are, January 24, and the Sundance Film Festival is just ending. Well, back in the day, we had what we called Satellite Sisters at Large, where we said, if you're going to something that we're interested in, because we can't afford to go there, could you please call in and report back on your findings? So in this episode today, we have Ellen James. She was our very first Satellite Sister at Large, Lian. She was a mother of 4, lives in Utah, but she volunteered every year at the Sundance Film Festival. So she calls in with really a fun report about like the celebrity sightings at Sundance, you know, and she's talking about people that are still very current. I don't want anyone to, she's talking about Jared Leto.
Don't give it away, Liz. Don't give all the sightings away. Don't give them all away. It's fun. It's fun to hear. It's fun to hear again. Okay, especially now because Sundance may be leaving Park City. So
I just heard that.
Yeah. Yes. So this is just sort of a feeling of like the good old days of Sundance.
Yes.
Before, there were so many sponsors.
Yeah. I mean, there's a little bit in her report about movies too, but mainly it's about the people at the festival.
Yeah, fantastic. It's great.
And then Monica hits a couple of notes here. You want to recap for the people what Monica does in this show?
Okay, so first of all, she not that this will date us, but she tries to buy an iPod. So RIP iPods. Like they don't even, they stopped making them, I think last year. Yeah. And then Monica does her signature segment on this one called Believe It or Not. Now, Monica worked so hard on this segment. She would take news stories that were out there. She would take 2 true news stories and then create a third fake news story. And we had to figure out which was the fake one. Often there was a caller too on the line to
play the game.
Yeah, to play the game. So, and usually, you know, the Believe It or Not stories were arranged around a theme, like, you know, medical fraud or bad criminals or things crazy animals did. And so again, I mean, there was a lot of creative work happening in Believe It or Not, and that became a fan fave.
So much. So that's at the end of today's episode. And then at the very end, we have a reminder for you how to stay in touch with us, like all the Facebook stuff, all the Instagram stuff, our email address. Remember, you know, all the social media. We're still on Lizzie D on the socials. I'm still doing as much as I can on the socials. And so have you been. And we're, you know, trying to do the Insta Lives more. So make sure you listen all the way through to the end to get the reminders about how to continue to participate in the Satellite Sisters community. So I think that's it for this week, right?
Yeah, Liz, great. Yeah. Thanks for pulling this all together.
Yeah.
Big thanks to AI and
AI, right. Doing most of the work. And then because you mentioned it to me, Lian, like, well, maybe we could have a special Valentine's Day episode. I was like, oh, okay. I guess we could. See, Lian's the producer mind. I'm just like figuring out how to use the AI. So our next episode will be sort of a Valentine's-ish special, which is going to be good.
Nice. I mean, who doesn't love a theme, Liz? Most people like themes.
Most people like themes. We're going to leave you with that thought, and the thought, of course, don't forget, call your satellite sister.
Lian, we haven't heard about your vacation. Welcome back.
Thank you very much. You know what? I have to tell you, I had an enjoyable vacation. We had a couple of weeks off here at Satellite Sisters. And you know, sisters, my problem is that I rarely get to go on vacation because my husband is a workaholic. Okay,
that's correct.
Yes, I will just say
you've been married. It was just your 13th anniversary yesterday, right?
Right.
And we have witnessed that over the last 13 years.
So when the situation arises to take a vacation, I must seize it because it's not because the window can open and close so quickly that all of a sudden the days are gone and we haven't gone anywhere. I've just been, doing the dishes and the laundry, which is what most working moms do on vacation. So there was an opportunity to go to our favorite place on earth, Legoland. Okay, as a family, mother, 2 boys.
So, Lian, what's so great about Legoland?
Legoland is just a clean, fresh Danish park where everything's made of Legos. I can't even describe how fantastic it is. It's in Carlsbad, California. It's just north of San Diego. And we have spent many enjoyable holidays at Legoland. Basically just building Legos. That's what my boys like to do, but they have rides. And then they have this area called Miniland, which is the whole world made out of Legos. Seriously. It's like the Taj Mahal made out of Legos.
That's amazing. I've only heard you describe it 10 or 15 times.
I know, but it's still amazing every time we go to see La Tour Eiffel made out of Legos. I'm telling you. But usually when we go down, we stay at the hotel shaped like the windmill where kids eat free. Okay?
Is it made of Legos?
No, I wish. It's right off the freeway. So this year when my husband said, let's just go down for a couple of days, that's all I have time for. He worked most of the holidays. I was like, can we just stay in a better place? Can we stay at La Costa?
What is La Costa?
It's like a legendary California resort. It's been here 30 years, and it's in the hills in Carlsbad, and it's golf and tennis.
Spa services.
Well, they recently upgraded it, Liz, so I've been reading about the spa, and they have the Deepak Chopra Center is there.
Oh, yes.
So I thought maybe we could
go on some kind of inner journey, too.
Right, exactly. Just not only to see the Taj Mahal made out of Legos, but perhaps get a massage. So my husband agreed. Okay, great. We'll go for a couple days after the holidays. And then he called me up a few days before Christmas. He's like, let's go before Christmas. which is so handy because, I had nothing to do,
Right.
Well, I'm just sitting around killing time before the holidays. So I was like, okay, I have to get to La Costa. This is it. The window's going to close. I must get there. I will, whatever it takes, I will do it. I jettisoned the holiday cards. Forget it. No time for that. Must get to La Costa. I need to find some place for the dog, the puppy. I had to get her the shots. She had to take a good manners test at the cage-free boarding. Julie, I was sweating it more than my kid's kindergarten application test. I can tell you that. It was more stressful. I'm like, you better pass that good manners test. Mommy wants to go to La Costa. Okay. And then I had to do all the packing, the cleaning, blah, blah, do everything. And then the day we're set to go. I hear the dog barking wildly outside. And I think, you've got 2 more hours of freedom. Then you're going to the kennel, sister. And I look out. Oh, she is chasing a skunk down the driveway.
Oh.
And, because she's a puppy and such an idiot, like the skunk is spraying her and I see her reel back. And then she goes back into the breach like, what the heck was that? So she
sprayed over and over and over again?
She was skunked. And I'm like, if I can't go to La Costa because you got skunked, I am going to kill you.
So Lian, what'd you do? Tomato juice?
Well, I didn't have any tomato juice. I did have some Bloody Mary mix. So I find that works.
Close enough.
Yeah.
It might sting a little, but
spicy.
otherwise good.
It's spicy. And then I had like a half a jar of skunk off, like left around. It's this stuff. So I just doused her with everything I had, and then I walked into doggy time, the cage-free doggy boarding. I'm like, here you go. And they were like, whoa, she smells. I was like, please just take her. Please take her. I want to go to La Costa. And they took her. They have a groomer on site. So the first thing they did was
So Lian, but you were pretending she didn't smell.
Right. I was pretending I was like, really? Do you think she got skunked?
It's when you bring the sick child to school. Yes, with 108 fever. Yeah, and you just pretend. Just go on.
Exactly, Julie. Exactly. So we got in the car. We went. We had a great time. It was beautiful.
Was it good?
I took 2 fantastic yoga classes at the Deepak Chopra Center. You can imagine they were so.
And you love yoga.
Filled.
You're a good yoga student.
And so this was solid. The massage, the spa was beautiful. The kids had a great time, and we enjoyed Legoland. It was really fun.
That's a good combination. La Costa and Legoland.
It
Something
is.
for everybody in that combination.
Thank you, Liz. Exactly right. So we really enjoyed it.
Hi, Satellite Sisters and Misters. It's Lian Dolan here, and I'm here to tell you about ButcherBox. I have been a ButcherBox subscriber for a long time, long before they were sponsors of the Satellite Sisters podcast, and I remain one because I love the high-quality meat and seafood that I can trust, arriving at my door every month with free shipping and a customized box. Oh, it is the most convenient, most reasonable, high-quality cut of meat, seafood, chicken, other great foods. I love being a ButcherBox subscriber, and I think you will too. If 2024, you want to get on your game, you want to eat a little bit cleaner, you want to make more food at home, you want to have great proteins in your freezer just to take out and make into delicious recipes, then I want to encourage you to check out ButcherBox, especially now, because ButcherBox has a great deal for Satellite Sisters subscribers. Okay. And if you use our special code, it helps you and it helps us. So here's what we do. Let's get on the ButcherBox for 2024. New members get 2 pounds of ground beef, 3 pounds of chicken breast, or 2 pounds of salmon free in every order for a whole year. You get to choose 2 pounds of ground beef, 3 pounds of chicken, or 2 pounds of salmon free in every order for a whole year. Plus, you get $20 off your first order. So sign up at butcherbox.com/sisters today. Butcherbox.com/sisters and use code SISTERS to choose your free offer and get $20 off. Thanks, ButcherBox.
We are so happy at Satellite Sisters to have BritBox as a sponsor. We love it. It's the streaming home of the best British television with exclusive mysteries, crime dramas, comedies, documentaries, and more. Julie, what's your fave?
Vera, I love this show. I'm on season 11. I mean, Brenda Blethyn is such a great actress. And the character Liz, Vera, I don't know if you watched it, but she's essentially Margaret Thatcher in a trench coat, okay? She is bossing people around and solving crime. I love her.
Okay, well, I want to especially recommend Archie. Archie's a brand new limited series. It's starring Jason Isaacs as Archie Leach. Who is he? He's the man who became Cary Grant. And, what's so interesting about this is it's sort of about how he became a star in old Hollywood, how he went from being Archie Leach to being Cary Grant, but also because it's him growing up in old Hollywood, there are a lot of people in the movie playing Doris Day, Grace Kelly, George Burns. It's little snapshots of what it was like to become a movie star back in the day. So I really enjoyed it and recommend. So sign up for BritBox today to stream Archie and any other fan favorites from any device you have. So we have a special limited time offer. Get 50% off your first month when you sign up for the monthly plan, but only if you go to BritBox.com and use our promo code SISTERS at checkout. Got it? Don't wait. Get 50% off your first month. Use promo code SISTERS at BritBox.com.
What's the best place you've been, or where do you want to go this year?
Call us. That's right. We're talking about travel with the author of 1,000 Places to See Before You Die, the best-selling travel book. Patricia Schultz is going to be here. She has fantastic recommendations always for us. We always have a million questions. We are thrilled that we could welcome Patricia Schultz back to the show. She is the author of 1,000 Places to See Before You Die. It is a comprehensive list of cities, sites, festivals, and wonders of the world. It's a great reading for armchair travelers, for actual travelers, for planners, for geography nuts. And Sheila, I know you're a geography nut.
Wow, all over that, Lian.
Patricia, welcome back to Satellite Sisters.
Hi, Happy New Year.
Thank you. And I'm glad you mentioned that, Patricia, because I'm so enjoying the 1,000 Places to See Before You Die desk calendar that I have at my office because I never go anywhere except Legoland because I'm a mother. So when I saw that your New Year's resolution, your January 1 desk calendar list included 7 of the new wonders of the world, I was like, oh, if I could get to one of these in the next decade, I'd be happy. The Great Pyramids of Giza, fabulous.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yes. Julie, you've been there.
The Acropolis. Okay, been there. The Colosseum in Rome. The Treasury in Petra, Jordan. I would like to see that. Macchu Picchu, which seems to be on everyone's list. The Alhambra in Granada, Spain. And Hagia Sophia in Istanbul. Patricia, that's a good list.
I know. The very sound of these places just gives me the goosebumps.
It's true. You want to get up and go and reading your book.
You know, the sad thing is that because they've been around for so many centuries, in some cases millennia, you think, well, yeah, next year, and your own decades go by and, all of a sudden you're 93 and your knees don't work, and have you seen any of these places? So my resolution, I hope it's everyone's, and I join in with the Dalai Lama who said every year go someplace you've never been, whether it's these places of antiquity or Paris. Who told me that somebody needs to go to Paris?
Our sister Sheila.
Sheila.
I know.
Voyage. It's time.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Pack your valise.
I have to say, though, having been to Legoland many times now, you can see all these wonders of the world
Lian,
at Legoland in Legos.
Or Las Vegas, too. How easy is that? And make some money on the side, hopefully, to purchase your ticket to the real thing.
Okay. All right. The calls are pouring in, so we want to hear where people have been that they've loved or they're just dreaming to go. And Patricia, feel free to chime in with any advice on this. Hi, Christina from Minnesota. You're on with the Satellite Sisters. Christina?
Yeah.
Hey, hi. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks.
All right, where are you dying to go, Christina?
Iceland. I want to go to the Blue Lagoon so bad.
Iceland is so magnificent. It's called the Island of Ice and Fire. And really, I think Jules Verne used that as the inspiration to his work, Voyage to the Middle of the World, of the Earth or something, because it's just so eerie and unearthly and otherworldly, and it's magnificent. And the cities are just so vibrant and exciting. You wouldn't have attributed something like that, at least in my mind, to Iceland. The most highly read population of any urban city in the world. I think it's because their nights are very long.
Right.
But it's a magnificent destination, and I would say go in a nanosecond. spectacular countryside.
Is there, is Iceland, are there a lot of cities, or I always think of it as just pretty much being Reykjavik?
Yeah, it is pretty much Reykjavik, but what a remarkable city Reykjavik is. And really, once you do your 10 minutes in Reykjavik, which should be a day or two, it's all about seeing the countryside. There's a ring road that goes around the entire island, which could take days and days, but you can do loops of it. And the most accessible to the city for short jaunts are spectacular countryside. Really, I don't think I've ever seen anything anywhere else on this planet like it. It's that unusual, the topography.
So,
wow, Christina is probably like in
she's
heaven
gone.
now.
She's hung up and she's on her way
packing her bags
to the airport.
And they're really exciting. Everybody's like 24 and hip. It's a very exciting, young, youthful, spirited city and populace as well. And there's a real music scene and there's a real literature scene. Every other store is a bookstore. It's a very, very interesting place to go to. You think it's kind of the backwaters of the planet, but it's not. It
sounds like Seattle, but I don't know. I'm only kidding.
All right, let's go to Joanne in Minnesota. Hi, Joanne. You're on with the Satellite Sisters.
Hello.
So is there a place that you want to go or someplace you've been you think everyone should see?
A place I discovered last year. We went to the island of St. Thomas on the Virgin Islands, and we went over to St. John, and the most beautiful beach I've ever seen is Trunk Bay.
Trunk Bay. Patricia,
it's in my book.
Oh, my gosh.
Phew. I'm always happy to know that there's someone else out there that finds my 1,000 places to be so destination worthy, because travel is a personal thing, and things that you find so beautiful and special, the next person might not find, worth crossing the street for. But all of the islands in the Caribbean are just so beautiful, and really we should be there now.
Why is Trunk Bay so special, though?
Joanne, why did you find Trunk Bay so special?
You walk onto it, and it's like it's the postcard. It's a picture perfect postcard. It's the water is the clearest I've ever seen, and it's great snorkeling, and it's just beautiful.
Oh, sounds so
I
good.
think once National Geographic voted it, I'm sorry to say that the two of us are not the only two who find it to be so magnificent. I think National Geographic once voted it to be the most beautiful island in the world, or the most beautiful beach. But it's true, the sand, the colors, the quiet, you need to go when you're the only person there, which is not always easy. But it's almost as if you stumbled upon the Garden of Eden. It's that magnificent.
Wow. Oh, my gosh.
I know. Let's go, girls.
We're talking to Patricia Schultz. Her book is, I just love reading it whenever I have a free 5 minutes, 1,000 Places to See Before You Die, a traveler's life list. Julie, you had a beach question.
I did. Patricia, I live in Moscow, Russia, so it's cold and dark, and you have this overwhelming urge to go somewhere where the sun shines. And I have been collecting information for years on the Maldives. What do you think? Is it worth it?
Well, sure, but I haven't been in many years, and of course we all know or should know that it was one of the areas decimated by the tsunami. And yet there seems to be this incredible determination for the people to come around and immediately kind of pick themselves up by the bootstraps and keep moving forward. And I've seen that a number of resorts that were in the making at the time of the tsunami, in fact, have since opened within the last number of months. So because they're so ocean level, I think it took very little for the damage to be radical, to be extreme. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure what is there, but it does bring up the question of should we and how soon should we return visit to these areas supposedly, almost
devastated, right?
Off
well,
the face
last year I went to Thailand. We had lived in Bangkok, Thailand for a number of years, so we really felt it was important to go back there because of our love of the country and to support that country. I've been doing a lot of Maldive monitoring over the last couple of months, and I think there are a number of areas that you can go to.
Oh,
and again,
sure. My answer would be go in a heartbeat, because there will always, it is such a breathtakingly beautiful area of the world that, and the people, I can only imagine, are so appreciative and so welcoming of those who come and have not forgotten them. My friend just spent a week in New Orleans over Christmas, and everybody he met told him, he said, please don't let them forget us, because, the dust has settled and people want to think that we're getting back to normal. We're not. And we need your interest, and that translates to we need your money because the economy is non-existent. And these are such remarkable cities and destinations and places in the world that is it the way it was before? Maybe not. But the experience can be 10 times what it was before because the people there are so very welcoming and appreciative of your arrival.
All right, Patricia. I know. Well, before you die, okay? That's the title of the book. All right, Patricia, Michelle in Ohio has a question for you. Michelle, your boyfriend gave you a gift to go anywhere?
Yeah.
With him or alone?
We're sending him off alone.
With him, and actually we really love traveling. We've traveled many places together. We've gone to Europe many times, so I wanted to go somewhere where neither of us has gone, and I'm thinking about Asia.
Ooh.
And one thing that we really enjoy is trying interesting foods and wines and that kind of thing. So we like food-related trips.
Have you tried takeout?
So much cheaper.
I'm only kidding.
All right, Patricia, what do you think?
I think Asian, I think food, and I think Thailand. And I'm sure that Julie will agree with me because one of the first reasons I ever went to Thailand, it was my first of a dozen trips, was because back in the 80s, Midtown Manhattan got its first Thai restaurant, and it so blew me away that I thought, I have to go to the country where people eat like this all the time.
Yes.
And it's such a fascinating, in every aspect and dimension and possible way, the people, the customs, the music, the food, the very smell of the marketplaces, and the difference between north and south and the coastline and islands, and it's magnificent. And really, the people are some of the nicest, not just in Thailand, but in that entire area of the globe. Some of the most gracious and nicest people anywhere.
Oh, Michelle.
Yes. Michelle, I'd also go to Thailand because the food is fabulous.
It's remarkable.
And if you go in the north, they have a lot of Thai cooking schools where you can learn about Thai culture and how they actually prepare the meals from all the wonderful Thai foods that they grow there. The city of Chiang Mai is the area in the north where it has beautiful resorts and places and a lot of Thai cooking schools.
And Julie would be happy to be your guide and chaperone, Michelle.
I will take you. Yes.
And Michelle, I would say book the trip soon. You never know what's going to happen with the relationship.
Sheila's the relationship.
I also want to know all the best friends of this fellow, because if birds of a feather flock together, he's got to have friends who would do the same for the rest of us.
All right. Michelle, have a great trip.
Thank you.
Okay. That was a good suggestion. Monica, you have a fantasy about
Alaska. Patricia, I feel
on the other side of the gamut from
I feel like
Island.
this is the year for me. I've always wanted to see
Alaska.
I live in Portland, Oregon, so it's sort of in my backyard.
It is.
And
I hear you can just jump on those British Columbia ferries that leave out of Seattle and Vancouver and do the very kind of spontaneous, last minute trips up the coast of Columbia, which is just as beautiful as the Inside Passage that then goes up into Alaska.
Yeah, because travel to Alaska sounds so complicated, Patricia.
Oh, I don't think so, because it's huge.
Yeah.
It's 20 times the size of Texas. I don't know. But if you get a hold of a book like 1,000 Places, now if you do kind of designate what your interests are, I found Denali National Park, and I've been to not every national park in America because there are over 300 of them, but the greats. But I found that Denali was just so spectacular, and you can get there easily from Anchorage. It is daunting because it's so very grand. But areas like the Kenai Peninsula and the small town of Homer, and just visiting the wildlife offshore and onshore, spending even like 3 or 4 days in one of the lodges, either outside the parkland of Denali, or there's one camp only inside Denali, which is a jillion square miles, and going on. It's almost like going on a safari, really, but in the the northern reaches of North America kind of way.
That's what I want. I was thinking of doing kind of a combination of a land and a sea thing because I'm not sure I want to be on a boat for 7 or 8 days. I'm thinking 2 or 3 nights on a boat.
But they do that as well. And then there are boats, and there are boats. There are the very small, intimate ones that get into a lot of the coves and harbors that these massive ones carrying 2,000, 3,000 people can't. Mm-hmm. So there's such a variety there to choose from as well. But it's all very interesting, and you keep pinching yourself. It's so hard to believe it's really part of the United States.
That's what I want. That's the experience I want.
All right, Eileen from Maryland wants to tell us about one of her favorite spots. All right, Eileen. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Lindsay. I'm sorry.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hey,
No
Lindsay.
problem.
Sorry, Eileen.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
I
Lindsay.
have a cousin named Eileen.
Everybody's related.
Yeah.
Yeah, my family and I discovered Mammoth Cave National Park in Kentucky this last summer.
Okay, do you have to go in the caves to really appreciate it?
Because Lian's claustrophobic.
On your belly. You're going to have to scoot in through 3 inches. No, you'll have to tell me about it, though. I was saying before how I'm such a fan of Carlsbad Caverns and the Four Corners area. So you have to tell me about Mammoth, which I've heard of, and I heard it's pretty remarkable, right?
Well, yes, and what's so remarkable about it is that it is the largest mapped cave system in the entire world. It's hundreds and hundreds of miles of caves. Now, for those of you who aren't interested in delving under the earth,
for weeks at a time.
Yeah, hundreds of miles of caves sounds like my idea of torture. But okay, go ahead, Lindsay.
Sunscreen.
Multiple tours that you can take that last just under 2 hours, and they're guided by these fabulous little rangers in their cute little brown suits. And they're paved and they're lit and there's railings and stairs and they're very, very intro level. If you're just curious, you want to dip your toe in and kind of see what it's like. If you're interested in it and really want to get in, they have a 6-hour tour that you have to pack a lunch and wear long sleeves.
And an oxygen tank and Xanax. And then
an exit strategy.
All right, Lindsay. It sounds like you enjoyed it. Good for you. All right. Eileen, has she had some advice for Monica going to Alaska? So I don't know.
Write to us.
Yeah, we could always write to us or stay on a second, Eileen. Patricia Schultz, thank you so much for being with us. Never enough time with you, Patricia, because 1,000 places to see before you die is a lot to talk about. It's a fantastic book and website. Thanks.
Welcome to On the Cozy Couch with Sheila. This is the time in the show when you have permission to space out. And like I've been doing the whole show.
Right, as opposed to the last two hours or so.
You get to go numb. Go numb, Sheila.
Go numb. You can space out and you can snack down. And I invite you really to come on in and practice my 3-part plan I have devised, which will guarantee relaxation. You all know it. Breathe, number 1.
Yeah.
Reach and snack. Everybody, breathe, reach and snack. Oh,
very nice.
Very nice. Now, you might have some healthy snacks like Lian has, little mini apples. You might have some leftover toast points from your romantic dinner last night. Or you just may have my favorite, Cheetos. But you know what? We don't need any hard news right now because this is a cozy couch where the trivial and mundane are celebrated. That's right. And what I do each week for you is I read, I rip, and I staple from women's magazines that I buy at the checkout counter because there are so many of them. You don't have time to look. I've done all the work for you. Now, this week, I have one of my faves. The magazine's called For Me. For Me. And it's love, food, home, style, you. Well, that pretty much covers your life, doesn't it?
It does.
Or at least yours, yes.
Well, right. I mean, I was going to say except for the love part because the cozy couch is not really built for love.
Yeah.
But it's built for me. And there's a great new article in this month's magazine, 7 Things Every Girl Needs in February.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All righty. And then, Lian, I have a nice article also from For Me, Stress Proof Your Day. And they have pressure point and stress reliever.
Oh.
Pressure point and stress reliever. And finally, Julie, from Woman's World magazine.
That
which
would be
is-
me.
It's a weekly. It's actually it's like a newspaper. It's $1.49, and it actually says on the title, "God Bless America, Woman's World." They have a great article, Julie, from Feel Happy Tricks for countries where it's always winter, and I thought of you in Russia.
Wow.
So
They
here we go.
do?
They do.
That's the title of the article?
Yes, and we're going to go through that. But
That's
first,
shocking.
breathe, reach, and snack. Very good. Okay. Let's 7 things every girl needs in February. Warm feet. Warm
Okay.
feet. Now, do the words snow boots conjure up images of bulky astronaut boots?
Yeah.
Think of it. Snow boots. Do you conjure up astronaut boots? Anybody? I don't know. For me is asking you, does it conjure up that image? Well, you don't have to do that anymore because they're cute, warm boots out there that won't make you look like a dork.
Oh.
And they have a nice little picture of a fuzzy little boot, which is sort of like a camouflage look. And just wondering, do all the sisters have warm boots?
Yes.
Right?
Yes, we
I
do.
live in Russia. I've got multiple warm boots.
All
Sheila.
right. How about this? Do you have untangled jewelry? Because they're saying,
Oh no, that's a problem for
I have
me.
tangled jewelry.
okay, because you know you have your fave baubles. You know
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah.
And you go on a getaway, as they say, a getaway. I've never been on a getaway, but I'd like to go. And you toss them in a Ziploc bag, right, Lian?
Sure.
What happens when you get there? It's a naughty mess.
It is.
Okay, so that's why they're thrilled to advertise this microfiber jewelry satchel, which has separate compartments for all your fave baubles.
Oh, wow.
Right. So that's one item. And one more item, I think. Smooth, kissable lips. Who doesn't want that
yeah.
in February? Because, you know, your lips haven't seen much action since you hung
8th grade.
you hung that mistletoe in December. So let's just quick. How would you rate your lips right now, Lian?
But smooth now, but prone to cold sores.
Monica, smooth and kissable, or just
No,
smooth?
unkissable.
Unkissable. And Julie, how about you?
I've got the moist lips, Sheila.
Okay, and I need to get some of this rosebud salve, spelled Salve, because it gives you smooth and kissable, and it lightly scents your lips with a rose scent.
Oh,
Very nice.
Wow.
All right, so that's a few things every girl needs. How about stress-proof your day, Lian? I know you have some pressure points, and they've come up with some stress relievers for you.
Okay.
For me. Here it go. Beat the morning rush. Your pressure point is you wake up stressed about the jam-packed schedule, don't you, Lian?
Every day.
All right, so here's a stress reliever. Take 5 when you open your eyes in the morning. All right? And this is the best time to set a new direction. Now, let your eyes close, Lian. Focus on your breathing, and then say this to yourself. May this practice support a deeper ease within me. Say it again. May this practice support a deeper ease within me. And the practice is simply closing your eyes and breathing.
All right.
And then when you open your eyes, Lian, it says gently go into your day.
Okay.
Gently,
All right. Okay.
Gently move forward. And finally, instant serenity in this article. Take a vacation in your mind. In your mind.
That's the only vacations I ever take.
I know, it's the only place we ever go.
Feel the warm sand between your toes and the cool mountain air on your face. Okay, how about this, Lian? Find something nice to say about someone around you. Tell your sister how much you enjoy her smile.
It does not say that in there, does
it? Say it now.
No. Oh.
Oh, okay.
I enjoy the scrunchie in your hair. What is that thing?
Okay. And how about this? Smooth on some delicious smelling hand lotion.
Okay.
Some soft lotion. All right. Finally, happiness secrets for cold weather countries. Julie, are you turning up the watts? Did you know that studies show that just spending 15 minutes near an assortment of lamps, not just one lamp, an assortment of lamps could really just beat the winter blues in Russia? Have you ever tried it?
No, I'm gonna collect all the lamps I have in my apartment and put them in one room.
I want you to do that, Julie. And how
Okay.
about this? People in Finland take a long hot bath to give a mood lifter, and then they take a chamomile tea bag throw it in there, and boy, they're energized. Have you ever
put
tried
the tea bag in your bathtub?
How about you, Julie? Have you tried that?
No.
Do you put anything in your bathtub with you?
Vodka?
Just don't put the assortment of lamps. Because then you'll really be in trouble. It'll be a short winter.
A shocker.
Oh boy, that's all the time we have today for On the Cozy Couch. But that was fun.
All right.
All righty.
Thank you, Sheila. Okay, breathe and relax.
Support for today's episode comes from Jenny Kane. You know, when you support Jenny Kane, you're really supporting us. You're supporting the Satellite Sisters, and we appreciate that. You can visit jennykane.com and use code SISTERS for 15% off your first order. Now, Jenny Kane is a California brand through and through, and their staples make getting dressed easier than it's ever been before. Think minimalist, think effortless, but totally refined. And, you know, you don't have to live in California to live the Jenny Kane life. I mean, I live in California. This is Liz. You know I live in California. But everyone can live the Jenny Kane life. You know, my never want to take off item, you've heard me talk about this before, my cashmere half zip in ivory. I get so many compliments whenever I wear it. And, you know, over the holidays, I saw a friend I hadn't seen in a while, and she came over and she gave me a big hug. And then as she's touching my cozy, comfy cashmere half zip, she said, "Ooh, Jenny Kane." I was like, yes, living the Jenny Kane life. So you can do it. You can all do it. And here's how. Find your forever pieces at jennykane.com. And our listeners get 15% off your first order when you use code SISTERS at checkout. That's 15% off your first order at jennykayne.com, promo code SISTERS. Let getting dressed be one less thing to worry about.
Hi, Satellite Sisters and Misters. It's Lian Dolan. Hey, Happy New Year, everybody. Who's set with their hair goals for 2024? Do you have ones? Do you want your hair to look shinier or smoother or softer or stronger? Do you just want to have more good hair days than bad? Well, let me tell you about Pros. You know I love my Pros made-to-order hair care. When I switched to a custom routine from Pros a couple of years ago, it was really one of the best things I've done for my hair. Honestly, I use the shampoo, the conditioner, the leave-in conditioner. I even use the daily hair vitamins. And I have to say, I feel like my hair just keeps getting better and better. You know, not to brag or anything, because Pros experience can be yours. How do you get great Pros hair? Well, you take their quiz. By analyzing over 85 personal factors, Pros handpicks clean, sustainably sourced ingredients that get you closer to your hair goals with every wash. And then you can tweak that hair formula. If, say, maybe you want to try a different scent, or you're moving to some place where it's a little bit drier. Pros Refine and Review tool lets you tweak your formula to get it exactly right for you. So if you want in on custom made-to-order hair care from Pros to achieve your hair goals for 2024, here's what you do. Take your free in-depth hair consultation and get 50% off your first subscription order, plus 15% off and free shipping every subscription order after that. Let me repeat that, because that is a fantastic offer. So take the free in-depth hair consultation and get 50% off your first subscription order, plus save 15% off and free shipping every subscription order after that. Go to pros.com/sisters, and Pros is PROSE.com. Pros.com/sisters for your free in-depth hair consultation and 50% off your first subscription order. Thanks, Pros.
Lian, it's time for the final report from our very first satellite sister at large.
Ellen James emailed us a couple of weeks ago, really, and said, "Hey, I'm a mother of 4, live in Utah. I've been going to the Sundance Film Festival for a while, but I wondered if you needed a correspondent because I'm volunteering this year and I'd love to just check in. And we said, is it free? Okay. All right. Ellen James, welcome back to Satellite Sisters.
Hi, girls. How you doing?
Oh,
fantastic.
Ellen, the festival's over. Are you a little sad now?
You know, it's nice and relaxing now.
Oh, okay. Was it a little hectic getting out of the house with the 4 kids and then, all the parties and everything?
It was pretty hectic, yeah.
Oh.
And, you always have this game plan of, what films you're going to see, and then it just doesn't ever happen that way. But so it's nice to be back to the real world. But
all right. So did you see Robert Redford?
You know what? No one saw Robert Redford.
Wow.
No one?
What does that mean?
Everyone who I talked to, and we went to so many huge premieres, and he wasn't at any of them. So I'm not sure where he hides, but...
Ellen, this is very mysterious. Do you think there was something going on?
I was trying so hard to find him for you guys.
Thank you, Ellen. We appreciate it.
We do appreciate your commitment, Ellen.
All right. So no Bob, off the list. Okay. Ellen, I have to ask about Jared Leto because I heard he was very annoying at the satellites at Sundance. And I was wondering, did you see him?
I didn't hear him. I heard that he was annoying, but I didn't actually participate in any of that.
Annoyingness?
Yeah.
Annoyance.
Yes. Well,
I didn't witness it firsthand,
Okay.
Unfortunately. No.
Because apparently he was debuting a really bad movie that got panned, but then he's also in that band now, 30 Seconds to Mars, which has quite a big hit album.
Right,
but he
exactly.
kind of dresses up like a panda.
Oh.
He has kind of panda makeup.
Maybe that's why you didn't see him, Ellen.
I know, yeah.
Okay, let's ask the question again. Did you see a panda?
I did not. I saw a lot of crazy people, but...
Okay, who did you see then, Ellen? What was it? Was some good sightings?
Okay, well, first of all, when I talked to you the other day, I forgot to mention one of my most important sightings was Anthony Hopkins.
Tony.
He had a film that he actually directed and starred in called Slipstream, and it was crazy. I got my husband into that one, and he sat on the front row, unfortunately, and couldn't leave during it, so he had a migraine headache after it. But
wow. Okay, so it was crazy bad, not crazy good.
It was a surreal, dreamlike kind of a film, and it just kept flashing like crazy to all of his thoughts and his... I don't think it really even had much of a plot, but Christian Slater was there and Cameron Manheim.
Oh, okay. Were they
Yeah.
together? That seems like an odd couple.
Well, no, they were just in the movie.
Oh.
They were in the film, and I was working that film, and so, I got to take their tickets, and we're not supposed to touch anyone, but I accidentally touched Christian Slater's jacket.
Way to go,
patted him
Ellen.
as he walked by.
How did that work out for you,
It
Ellen?
was great. It was really great, yeah.
Do they actually tell you don't touch anyone?
Well, we're just not supposed to touch the patrons. When you touch people to tell them where the bathroom is or something like that. So, but it was a pure accident touching Christian Slater. But.
Okay.
No, but what was funny is afterwards, Anthony Hopkins came up to me as he was leaving the theater, and everyone was exiting, and I told him, thanks for coming, and he grabbed my hand and shook it really firm. I mean, he had a really tight grip on it. He puts his hand on my shoulder, and he looks me straight in the eye, and he says, "How did you like it?"
What did you say, Ellen James, our satellite sister at large?
I told him it was fabulous.
Way to go, Ellen!
Say when Silence of the Lambs stars looking at you, within a couple inches, and
Right, say the wrong thing, he bites your face off.
I know. So I told him it was fabulous. So,
Ellen,
but stars are allowed to touch you. You're just not allowed to touch them.
Exactly. If it's their choice, then that's all right.
Ellen, you may be a stay-at-home mom from Utah, but you've gone Hollywood. With that response, way to go.
I know. It was great.
All right, what other highlights? Anything?
I went and saw The Good Night. I told you guys I'd report on that. I didn't work during that. I went and saw the actual premiere of that, and that was really fun. Gwyneth Paltrow was there. Her brother, Jake Paltrow, it was his first directorial debut, so that was kind of a fun thing for him. Their mom, of course, Blythe Danner, was there.
Oh, that must have been nice.
That was neat.
Apple there?
No.
No Apple.
Was not there.
Okay.
No. Danny DeVito and his wife, Rhea Perlman, were there.
Oh.
And Steven Spielberg and his wife.
Oh, that's a good sighting.
Kate Capshaw, I think is her name.
Yes, Kate Capshaw.
Yeah, so that was really a cool sighting, to see him. And
can I ask who's taller, Danny DeVito or Steven Spielberg?
Steven Spielberg.
Okay.
I was really surprised. I've never seen Danny DeVito in person. He was really short. It's really funny with he and Jake Paltrow because he kept asking or answering questions at the end, the question and answers that they have at the end, and he'd have the microphone really low, and then Jake Paltrow would keep bending clear down to answer the questions, and so Danny DeVito kept putting the microphone back up, and it was kind of humorous.
Little comic thing. That's
yeah,
good.
it was fun. And then, the movie was dedicated to his dad, which it was sad to see him not there, and Gwyneth got really emotional during the question and answers afterwards.
Wow.
I didn't love the movie, but it was a nice thing to see them, have that accomplishment.
But you said it was fabulous. When they asked you afterwards, you said it was fabulous.
Of course.
Didn't you, Ellen?
When Gwyneth gave you the big double kiss.
Yeah. Right.
Well, Ellen, it has been so much fun to have you at Sundance Force. Well, will you be going back to Sundance next year?
Oh, definitely, for sure. And, I wanted to also let you know, I know you guys were really interested in Grace is Gone.
Yes.
That's
the John Cusack movie.
Fantastic movie. John Cusack, I think he's definitely going to be a contender for an Oscar for that. It was amazing.
All right,
Okay,
Ellen
you heard it here
James,
first.
Making some predictions. Ellen, it has been really, really fun to talk with you. Please keep in touch. Hey, if you're going to your family reunion, give us a call or anything like that, but definitely for next year.
Thank you.
All right, all the best, Ellen.
Well, guys, I want to tell you, I had a very unsatisfactory iPod shopping experience this weekend.
Really?
I mean, I don't want to expose the guy at the iPod store, but
go ahead.
Just want to bring you the story. I've been ruminating about starting an exercise program.
Good for you.
And I haven't done that. So
because it's only the 16th of the month.
Right. So, of course, what do? You procrastinate. I think, well, I'm not going to start really a circuit weight training program. I'm not going to start a walking program unless I have some great portable music, and I want to have my CDs, portable. So, of course, the answer is an iPod, and I know none of the sisters have an iPod.
No.
Right. 5 women in America.
We did not read A Million Little Pieces, and we do not own iPods.
So thinking about it all weekend, really what happened was last week Steve Jobs, the president of Apple, they had that Mac World conference, or I don't know, there was something else.
In Las Vegas.
Yeah, in Las Vegas.
And the Consumer Electronics
Then there was
show.
the Consumer Electronics show. And
Jason Timberlake was the spokesmodel. Yeah.
Justin, I think is his name.
Jason.
I don't know who Jason is.
Coffee's not kicking in. It's okay. It's all right. Go on, Monica.
Okay, so anyways, I kind of perked up when Steve Jobs announced that they were going to be making a new iPod that also had an FM radio in it, because I like to listen to the news sometimes when I'm walking. Well, if I could. And I also like to listen to CDs. So I thought, this is the iPod for me. I'm just going to go buy that combo iPod. So I got up off the couch yesterday.
Which was hard.
I was committed. I was going to the Apple store. I walked in there. They have all those little Apple salesmen that, they're about 16 years old.
It's a very nice environment in those Apple stores. I like it. It's very modern.
It's very
clean.
Very
very modern. A little bit intimidating, not super intimidating though. They're friendly. So I looked at the different iPods, and the salesman came over and I said, yes, I am interested in getting an iPod. Like, that was a big shock. That's why most people are there. And so I said, but I'm interested in the new model that has the combination FM radio iPod. He said, oh no, we don't have anything like that. And I said, no, is it coming? It's a new product. Is it going to be in the store soon? He said, no, there's absolutely no plans to ever have something like that. A combination. I was like, well, I saw one. I said, I saw last week Steve Jobs.
Are you familiar with him?
Are you familiar with him? That's exactly what I felt like saying. I said, I saw a picture of it in the newspaper, and it had like an FM tuner and a radio station channel on the little iPod screen. It had something to do. It's on a Nano. He said, no, I'm sorry. We have there are no plans ever to do anything like that.
I mean, ever. Wow, sounds like he was actively slapping you down, Monica.
Yes, so then
part of the strategic committee at Apple, probably for strategic product design.
I know that they want to sell you what's in the store now. And I said, I think it's like a future product that's coming out really, really soon, because Steve Jobs had one in his hand at the conference. He said, look, I listened to the whole keynote speech from Macworld, because he was the keynote speaker, obviously. It's rest of the company. He goes, and he never mentioned anything about that. And that was a complete shutdown for me. I mean, at that point, I did not say, I just was very, very perplexed. I did not say, can I speak to your manager, Or maybe you could ask one of your little friends over here in the black T-shirt if they ever heard of that product.
What did you do? Just walk out?
No. I went right over to the iMac. You know, they have like 8,000 computers out there that you can use. I Googled iPod. I went to the news section, and there were like 15 press releases about the new Nano with the FM tuner. I mean, I even described it to the kid. I'm like, it's on the earbud thing. It's a little button. It's a remote tuner thing. He said, no, nothing like that. So anyways, I stopped short of calling him over.
Oh, I definitely would have done that.
You didn't get the satisfaction?
Really? No, because you know what? I'm too passive that way. I really am. I was very, very dissatisfied with the shopping experience.
So
there.
what did you do after you Googled it? You just left it there on the screen?
No, I closed out the screen. I read
that's so bad, Monica.
I read like 3 press releases. I got frustrated. I saw it's available January 27th, which is pretty soon.
That is pretty soon.
You know, you would think he would be up on that kind of stuff. Anyways, it was
it's maddening. I would
that he went out of his way to slap you down.
He did, Liz. He slapped me down. He kept saying, I listened to the entire keynote speech, and I was like, but there was a picture of it in the paper. Anyways, very unsatisfactory.
Sorry to hear that.
Will you go back at the end of the month to buy what you want?
I won't go back to that store.
No, move on. You got to move on with your life.
I'm
having my own little technology struggle, Monica, and I know you share this one with me. We have an email service provider.
Oof.
That you know where I'm going with this, right? Last month, they decided that they would help us all out by completely redesigning the sort of inbox, outbox folder, basically the desktop display of all the email service.
But it came with the promise of a larger storage system.
Larger storage sounded like a good idea, so you didn't have to keep deleting everything so quickly. But here's what they did. Larger storage, yes, but the tiniest typeface, like the tiniest font you could ever imagine, is now the inbox typeface.
Oh, that's...
Liz, I cannot stand it. I saw that. I was ripping my hair out. They used to have such nice readable font.
Yes. I don't think they realized that us older people, like 30 and older, might like a slightly larger font. Or Monica, you have reading glasses. I haven't gone to the reading glasses yet. I can read most things most of the time, but they've reduced this to like the tiniest little thing. And I kept looking at all the preferences and the options and the menus.
Yeah, Liz, I tried that too. I came
thinking
just
there
short of.
has to be a way I can make this bigger on my screen. This is crazy.
Ridiculous.
They can't expect everyone to get out a magnifying glass to be able to read this stuff in our inbox. Anyway,
Are you gonna call and complain?
I am going to. I just haven't had time yet, Julie.
On the other hand, Liz, it is free. It is free.
We're the Satellite Sisters. I'm Sheila Dolan here with my sisters Liz Dolan, Julie Dolan, and Monica Dolan. It is time for Monica's Believe It or Not.
Whoo, Monica's Believe It or Not. Okay, this is my own little version of a current events quiz.
Okay.
What I do is I choose the wackiest headlines of the week, present them to my sisters, but here's the catch. 2 of these stories are true, and 1 is fabricated. 1 is a million little lies put together. You decide. Or anyways, my sisters will decide, but we want you to play along with us. So here we go. Last week, I kind of set a precedent. It was the first week I did Believe It or Not.
It was your debut.
It was my debut. But I chose a theme. So I'm going to continue in that tradition, that short-lived tradition. So the theme this week is the wonderful world of animals.
So these are wacky pet stories, animal stories.
Wacky animal stories.
The bears in the backyard pool kind of stories.
So let's get started. Story number 1 comes to us from Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Drywallers in Wisconsin were repairing Jay Chumis's basement, and they walled in the woman's cat. The woman's cat's name is Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins.
So the owner didn't know where Mary Poppins went. She just know that Mary Poppins didn't show up for dinner. She was missing for several days. She went downstairs and she started hearing meows from behind the wall. She called the fire department. They came, they cut a hole in the wall, and Kitty came tumbling out.
Oh, Kitty.
Okay, I hope that's not true, but that's story number 1. Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
Story number 2 is from Kodiak, Alaska. The Alaskan Department of Fish and Game were called to a Pit stop mini mart in town after reports that a 400-pound brown bear had broken in the back door and was helping himself to the convenience food. According to the Kodiak Daily Mirror, that's the paper, the hungry bear was caught on tape devouring the coffee and the hot dog bar before he turned his attention to the freezer case, where he ate an estimated 200 gallons of ice cream products.
All right.
The bear was subdued with tranquilizing darts and is in custody now.
You can hardly blame the guy. He's a bear.
I love ice cream. Go right ahead.
All right, he's a bear. Coffee,
That's
hot
story
dogs,
number
ice
2.
cream.
Okay,
Story number
Kodiak,
2.
Alaska bear, Eau Claire, Wisconsin cat. What's the third one?
Final story. Another miraculous cat tale, no pun intended. In Hallam, Nebraska, Harley, who was the Thai family cat, disappeared in May of 2004 in a tornado. So I think you can just picture the Wizard of Oz and Harley kind of going up in the tornado. They don't know what happened. The family had written him off for dead. They said surely he was killed. But last week, Samantha, the older daughter, was outside and she saw a big orange and white tabby sitting on the edge of their yard. Yes, it was Harley. They identified him from some pictures when he was a kitten. He was missing for a year and a half. He had no collar on him, and he returned home. So that is the third story.
All right.
So here are the here are the 3 stories: the dry-walled kitty, the Cookie Monster bear, or their tornado tabby. Which story is false? Sisters, any?
I'll jump in.
This
is Liz. I think the Kodiak bear story has to be true. That just seems like if you're a bear, that's what you're up to. You're busting into convenience stores and eating whatever you can get your hands on. I think that the Harley, the tornado tabby story,
cat?
I think that's also true because there's just so many stories. There's just miraculous tales of animals finding their way home. So I'm going with the Eau Claire, Wisconsin dry-walled cat, that is false. I don't know why. It's just because the other 2 seem so true to me, Monica.
Okay. Sisters, you have any other? Julie?
Okay, this is Julie. I don't believe that brown bear story because I don't think the bear could open the freezer cases. I don't think he could get his claws on those glass handles to open those to eat the ice cream.
They destroy stuff, Julie. They destroy like RVs. They rip through stuff.
Well, if that's Julie's rationale, you have to go with that.
Okay, that's my rationale. So I'm saying... but now that you've told me that, Monica, I'm switching my mind, and I'm saying the Walden cat is the false story because last week I fell for your Mr. Meow thing. I think the name Mary Poppins for a cat. I'm not buying it, Monica.
Okay.
And this is Sheila. I have to go with Harley. Harley is not true because a cat that's missing for a year and a half could not have his collar mysteriously removed.
Well, maybe it fell off in the tornado.
Well, I don't believe that. I think if a cat goes up in a tornado and comes back down, the collar stays on. That story is false.
Sheila, oh gosh, this is so satisfying because I stumped you guys again.
You did?
And I did it the right way because I talked Julie out of the Kodiak bear story.
I knew that bear story was right.
I made that up.
Oh,
so you made up the Kodiak bear story?
Yeah, I totally made that up. I mean, I'm sure that there are bears that have broken into pit stop mini marts.
Okay, but you did stumble on the word pit stop.
I know. Well, it made me laugh.
Okay, that may be a dead giveaway, but yes, you did.
In the future, Sheila, you'll have to remember that and pick that one.
We have to try to remember.
I don't think that's fair, Monica. You talked me out of it, because that was my first guess. I want to appeal.
Julie, even in those SAT counseling classes, they tell you to go with your gut instinct.
Right.
I did go with my gut instinct, and then the expert here, Monica, talked me out of it.
Julie, next time be strong. Stick with the pit stop.
Julie,
believe that.
I'm going to give you partial credit. I'm absolutely going to give you partial credit. That was your first instinct. Was the Kodiak
Monica?
bear
Wow,
story.
that was a lot of fun. Now, what are your themes coming up for next week? Anything?
Well, robberies, stupid robbers.
Okay, we can look forward to that.
Or I might do some sort of international wacky headlines desk.
You know what? If you have stories you want Monica to work into Monica's Believe It or Not, you can email those to us us. I'll make sure that they go directly to Monica, that I won't read.
Sure, Liz.
I won't cheat and read any of them when you send them in. This is Liz, just because I answer all the mail myself every day. I'll just forward these on to Monica. Don't worry about that.
Hey, it's Liz with a reminder that, it's really easy to stay in touch with the Satellite Sisterhood on many platforms.
That's right, Liz. For starters, we have a website, satellitesisters.com, where you can listen to all the podcasts. You also can read our blog posts, which include show notes. And if you want, you can snoop around in our bios and pictures.
On Facebook, we have a couple of options. The first is our Facebook page, where we post our news and all of our news shows. You just have to like that page so you get our posts in your feed.
And the second option is the Facebook group, aka the nicest place on the internet. That's where you can post yourself and interact with everyone in the group. You can share, you can comment, or you can just enjoy the vibe. And that page is private, so things posted in the Satellite Sisters Facebook group cannot be shared outside of the group. To join, you simply search on Satellite Sisters Facebook group and then click to join or follow. You'll get 1 or 2 really easy questions to answer. That's just so we can make sure you're a real person and not a bot, and then we approve you. Done.
We're also on Instagram, of course. You can follow @SatSisters. You'll see our posts there and get alerted to when we go live. And we're trying to go live more. In fact, we've been pretty regular on Fridays lately with a follow-up Friday. Individually, you can also follow us @Lian Dolan, @Satellite Sister Liz, or @Julie Oldest Sister.
And finally, don't sleep on good old email. Yes, that's right. We have a show email address. If you want to write to us, it's just hello@satellitesisters.com. We really do read everything sooner or later. So come on, Satellite Sisters, stay connected.